Hey fairies, what's hanging? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I do hope y'all have been keeping it cool, kind, and classy, of course, per usual. And today, I want to talk about the energy in the atmosphere. You can feel it. I can feel it. And, I feel the need to just get right into it. And I do want to go and specify the fact that this was on the very bottom of the card, front facing, and glowing in all her beauty. And I just wanted to touch on it because I feel that Collective has been genuinely diving into the idea of reciprocating themselves, feeding their own feeding their own spirit, feeding their personality, and feeding their own circle. Because I know that many of Collective was specifically designed to not have a big circle. So we've kind of had the ability, or at least have been embracing the ability to embrace ourselves and validate ourselves and love ourselves, because we all know that ain't not about everybody about to do it for us. That's a but anyway, so I really feel like I really feel like you have been waiting to kind of show people your full worth, because you already knew that as soon as you fully embrace yourself and your capabilities and the possibilities of the future and the overall beautiful energy that you're capable of embodying, that as soon as you brought it forth, people were going to have a problem with it. People were going to have so much of a problem with it that as soon as you accentuated it, people are going to act fake and be somebody that they're not and try to mimic this energy because it's so bright. It's so bright, and people just want to snap a little piece of it off, throw it in a doggy bag, and take it home with them. They don't actually want to reciprocate it. They don't actually want to meet you halfway. And that is, excuse me, it's dry in my house. And that is exactly why you have taken this whole time learning yourself, learning others, studying atmosphere, studying capabilities, cataloging life itself, because you didn't want to get to the point where you weren't ready to decipher others' energies from your own. That's exactly what I meant to say. So it's at the point where you're finally saying, okay, I'm ready. Okay, fine. Okay, I can deal with that. Because you genuinely didn't want to accept this whole time that people have hurt you, slandered you, made you feel less than them. And that's not even the point. There's more. The point is that people have put you in this little box. And you said, okay, you know what? Nah, because y'all want to put me in a box. So I'm going to show y'all exactly why I don't belong there. And this whole embodiment of truth and self is not even out of spite. It's coming from a place of, I need to do something else or I'm going to go crazy. Because you did want to give other people their space this whole time. You were giving them space this whole time to just be themselves, to live in their ego, to continue to view you as a villain, to continue to think the worst of you, you gave them that space. They didn't rightfully earn it. They didn't rightfully deserve it. But you still gave it to them because you saw, hang on, this is just what I heard, how fragile their ego was. How fragile their perspective of themselves is in correlation to how big you actually are. Okay, here's the thing. Such a crazy correlation. They didn't want to accept how big you were, and you didn't want to accept how small they are. Because not only did you want to give them space to just be themselves, but you wanted to kind of be out of the way. You just kind of wanted to go mind your business and live your life and do your own thing, regardless of what others thought, because you just didn't have time for that. You just didn't care to care. I'm just looking at making sure it's recorded. So, you didn't care to care. And I respect that. That takes a lot of control. That takes a lot of self-control. That takes a lot of reassurance, self-reassurance. And you genuinely wanted to give others this space that nobody ever gave you. And that is a huge development in the reason that you were just going to let others think the way that they thought about you. Because you realized how much it hurt to not be given space to express yourself and not be given space to think what you feel and feel what you think. So you wanted to give others that space, and they took advantage of it. I'm going to be real. It's in the atmosphere. You can be mad at the player and the game, but you cannot trump the truth, okay? You cannot work around the truth. You can only run from it for so long. You're not going to do great at hiding from it. I'm going to tell y'all that they used your kindness against you. And it's really unfortunate. And I feel that Collective is kind of at the point where they're not even mad about it anymore. They truly have spent so much time being mad about it and making sure that they didn't move into their next chapter from a space of anger. And that is also insanely respectable. That takes so much self-dignity. It literally just takes like an overall immense amount of self-love. And if you have that, then keep applying that to your present. Keep applying that to who you are, because people are going to be mad. I'm going to tell you, people are going to be mad regardless. Regardless of which side you're on, there's always going to be somebody who doesn't agree with it. So even if you had given people what they wanted sooner, as in yourself, you gave them your energy, you gave them your time, you gave them your beck and call, you would have been that much more disappointed within yourself. Because I know that people guilt trip themselves because they are so upset about the fact that they didn't meet people the way that they needed to be met in order to feed their ego, because that's the issue. It's an ego buffet. It's not actually about the relationship itself. So when you sit back and you say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I didn't meet this person, they needed me and I wasn't there. No, their ego needed you. They don't, not that they don't care about you, but like I said, they don't want to work for you. And you are somebody who has to be worked for. You're somebody who has people in your atmosphere who want to take advantage of your time, resources, money, love. So you got to the point where you said, I don't want any of it. I don't want any of it. Because If having money, having resources, having beauty, having potential means that people are going to target me, I don't want it. So now you're at the point where you're completely holding you're holding so much of your inner beauty within yourself. Or you're projecting it onto others, and that's why you build relationships with people who remind you of yourself. And on top of that, it's getting to the point where you're realizing that everything you were harnessing this whole time is meant to be given out. You know? It's not about greed. It's about giving it out. It's about something that you thought was supposed to be so protected that it became restricting. It became isolation. It became, I'm not going to go out tonight because I'm going to get targeted. It became the fact that you genuinely had nobody. And when you had nobody, you realized that people in your past didn't care the way that they said that they did. I don't know. It feels so slow. I'm getting a slow message. So it's really hard to read it. But I can tell you that the staircase that you have been walking on, you've been trotting up there, you've been looking around, you've been stopping here and there, and you're just like really enjoying the view. And you're thinking, oh wow, there is so much of me to offer myself that it's hard to give it out. It's hard to share it. I'm at the point where like I have been my own inner love for so long. I have given myself and reciprocated myself for so long that it got me to the point where I don't really remember how to give it out in the first place. And when you do give it out, you realize that it's because you want to. You really do want to. You want to be there for people. You want to take your walls down. You want to be this person that you need. You want to be the person that others need. But you have been attracting people who want to take advantage of you because you are afraid to give your energy out. I feel like it's at the point where you genuinely just didn't want, you stopped giving energy out to the point where people are going to come and get it. People are just gonna come get it, bro. And you could tell them, this ain't a soup kitchen. My energy is not a soup kitchen, okay? And y'all need to understand that when I need space, I need space. And I need that space in order to rebuild my strength. Because without my strength, I am not going to continuously feed myself. This is my own kitchen. This is my kitchen. It is not a soup kitchen, okay? So if y'all cannot cook up with me and handle the heat, then you can't cook with me at all. If you're gonna sit in the corner and watch me cook, then you could leave. Then you could leave. Because I'm feeling really good about myself. And when I'm done cooking and this food come out, I'm gonna want to eat it by myself. I'm feeling really mighty. I'm feeling pretty high and mighty because I got to this point by loving myself. I got to this point by feeding myself when the food wasn't done. I lived off ramen and snacks and chips and this and that because I was cooking, okay? Because I was cooking. So if you get it, then you get it, and if you don't, then that's okay too. Maybe this is not for you, and that is all right. But I will tell you that if this is for you, you are walking a divine trail. And it doesn't matter how fast you go. It doesn't matter if you need to slow down for a little bit. It doesn't matter if you got to trot it out just a tad. It doesn't matter if you got to gallop. Whatever you got to do, whatever you want to do. It's at the point where it's all about just holding that energy. It's not about getting there. It's not about getting to the final destination. It's not about being the best version of yourself. It's about being the version of yourself that makes you happy. The version of yourself that fills your cup. Excuse me. The version of yourself that feeds your inner child. And I just feel like most of these cards are continuously coming back to your inner child because why? Because why? Because you've had many people in your life that you've looked up to that only saw physicalities. They only saw the goal. They only saw the destination. They didn't see you, okay? And that's the unfortunate part about it. Because they didn't see your capabilities. They didn't see your ability to be the best version of yourself in a worst scenario. In the worst scenarios, they didn't see how bright you were in a dark room. Because all they have been thinking about was how to feed their ego, how to make themselves feel high and mighty, how to make themselves think that no matter what, they're always going to reign. No matter what, they're always going to be above everybody else. They don't care about relationships. This is the thing. Because maybe, okay, they do care about you. They do care about you. Your ex that ghosted you, your parents, your parents that made you feel less than them and small, your teachers, your friends, your acquaintances, they care about you. But they're so focused on the future. They're so focused on the destination that they're not actually putting time aside to smell roses. They're not putting time aside to actually feel the richness of life. They're not putting time aside to feel the light that is you. That's the issue. That's why you had to leave. I don't like the vibe from that card, man. That's why you had to take your power back. That's why you sat by yourself for years on end. Because you realized that the alternative of that was being overlooked. The alternative of that was being made out to be the villain. Being made out to be somebody that you're not. Being exactly what they needed in order to make themselves feel above you. And that's legitimately all you were to them. They don't care that you have feelings. They don't care that you got hurt. They don't care that you had to spend years by yourself alone finding out who you were in order to survive. Because all that they care about right now is the fact that they don't have that new Maserati, is the fact that they don't have that new job. I speak about this a lot in many of my videos, but I never really correlated the two. Past relationships and obsession. So it's gonna get to the point, and some of y'all do not want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Where people stop obsessing over what they want physically, and they start obsessing over the idea of what they can have with you. Now, I know y'all are not happy to hear that, because I am not. So they're going to get to the point where they're pedestalizing, idolizing, fantasizing, and all they can see is you. That's it. So now it's at the point where the roles are flipped. And in the past, you tried to be there for them. You saw them. You saw them as the person that they were capable of being. And now it's at the point where all they think about is who you are. Because you took your power back and you walked away. And I know it was not easy. I know it was not ideal. I know it was not love. It was not love. And that is the most important part to remember. Everything that you have faced up to this point with people who have hurt you was not love. Let me think. What was it? What was it? You got used as a vehicle. You got used as a vehicle. You got used as a free pass, a hall pass. You got used as somebody who was always going to be there, regardless of when they were not meant to be in rooms that you were able to get into. You were always going to be the person that had a +1 who didn't deserve it. You were always going to be the person who could get them into places that they didn't deserve, regardless of the fact that they were of people who are willing to hurt others to get into those rooms in the first place. These people are not of richness. They are not of, and I don't mean money, they are not of depth. They are not of genuinity. They are not of authenticity. And within this, you found balance. Within this, you found balance. And you understood that you were being given a choice. So you picked that choice up. And you saw things for what they were. You saw things for what they were because you understood that people, ooh, interesting. Here's what I'm getting. Okay. Yeah. So I picked this card up first, then this, but I do feel that it's coming from this way. So I feel that people wanted to, initially, step one, they wanted to objectify you. Because within objectifying you, you wouldn't see yourself as a person, and you would continuously run to these old patterns. You would continuously run to these old habits. And within that, you'd always be there for these people. You'd always be there to help them. You'd always be there to plaster their walls and re-glass their windows. Maybe that's significant for somebody, but that felt like something I needed to say. Excuse me, guys. I think it's recording. Okay, yes, it is recording. All right. Sometimes I just gotta feel it. I gotta feel it out. So yes, I got a lot of I got a lot of friction in saying that. And it's like something's off now. What is off? What is off? Tell me what's up and what's off, because that was wild. That was a wild switch of energy. I did not dig that. So, okay, so this is a continuation. So, people are working. That's what I'm getting. People are working on reversing your perspective of, I'm hearing hierarchy. Wow, this is wild. Okay. People are working tirelessly in order to reverse all of the work that you have done in establishing emotions for yourself, in understanding emotions of yourself, and in applying healthy emotion into your everyday life. And you have built this version of yourself who is both grounded, and patient. And not only that, reciprocal, and able to receive, and able within that to receive understanding of who is not meant for you, and who will only curb your emotional state. Oh man, this is wild. I'm getting so much at once. Okay. But you prevail. You prevail because you're aware of the fact. What are you aware of? You are aware of who you are. Who you are. Yes. Yes. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. So bells might be significant for you. If you hear bells, if you ever hear bells, or if there's like a church bell by your house, or just somebody like rings a little bell or something, maybe you listen to readings with people who ring bells. If I had one, I would be doing it. But yes, I gotta clear this energy real quick, y'all. I got my Christmas bells, okay? Winner! Okay, so that's the energy. That's exactly what the energy is. And you have these people who want you to start over on this journey. So it's just like a video game. Because I'm good with video game analogies. So, so say that you're at the point in a video game where you've gotten so far and you're on the final boss battle, right? You're walking in the castle. You're walking in the castle with the boss battle, okay? And you're like, I'm ready to friggin' go, bro. I got my armor. I got my abilities. I got my mind right. I got sufficient sustenance. I'm here. And these people, what's the next question? These people are trying to bring you to the point where you turn around. You turn around and you say, I don't actually know if I'm ready for this. Okay, why the F would you feel that way? Realistically, why would you be at the point where you don't think that you're ready for this? Because you have specifically built from the ground up into a state where you are you. You are you. You are. And within that, you understand that you are everything. You are everything that you need to be in the present moment, not in the future, not when you get that Maserati, okay? And I think that's the answer. People around you are starting to understand that Maserati is not what they wanted. Maybe part of them was considering you in a sense because they said, well, maybe when I get this Maserati, this person will want to stick around. Like, this person doesn't really want anything to do with me right now because I don't have this Maserati. No, this person doesn't want anything to do with you right now because you don't know how to act. Okay? So, You're bringing death to who you used to be. And not only who you used to be, but who they have convinced you into thinking you were. And that is exactly the stagnance that Collective has been living in for many years. Because we've been trying to kind of measure up to the idea of the person that they projected onto us. Well, you're not big enough. You're not small enough. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not skinny enough. And we kind of got to the point where we said, okay, well, maybe maybe when I'm actually as small as you need me to be, then I'll be worth something. Then maybe somebody will see me. Then maybe somebody will finally see the struggle that I went through when I'm sick and unhealthy and unable to take care of myself. Yeah, wow. Clear that. Almost tranced myself. So, whoa, okay, yeah. Just remember how powerful your words are. That's definitely what I got from that. So, yes, you are finally getting to a point where you're understanding that first and foremost, your words matter way more than people have told you that they do. And on top of that, you're realizing that as a human being, already from the get-go, you have value. It's not about what you have. It's not about what people view you as. It's not about how worthy others think you are. It's not about what class of humanity you're in, okay? It's just about the fact that let me think. That you are of humanity itself. That you are of the people. That there's something else. This is deeper than I'm thinking. Okay. Okay. So, you're coming back from something that wasn't serving you. Because you're realizing that this whole time, you're realizing that this whole time you were heating yourself for people who did not see you. This is exactly the card that I got in the last reading. And it's even deeper than this. It's even deeper than the last reading. Because these people are now finally seeing you, but they are still not